Hi. So I'm gonna do a book review for The Loneliest Girl in the Universe by Lauren James. Hi y'all, welcome. Yeah, Dream Forever, 420 swag. Uh, yeah, let's get into it. I guess before I start, I just want to preface and say this is a review for like after the fact for all the people and the nerds that absolutely loved this book so much and just would like to like have someone else talk about it. Just because my passion is like overwhelming, and I don't know, I don't think I've ever felt, or like I don't know, book lovers could understand that like ending a book, it hurts them, and there's so much grief that comes with it, and I felt it so deeply with this book. So there is going to be spoilers. I don't know if I said that or not. There is going to be spoilers in this book review that I'm doing. So just letting you know that before we get into it. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to like talk about it and just give love back to Lauren James. I'm going to tag her in this post. Hopefully she's on YouTube. I actually haven't even checked, but just to like give her some love and some more inspiration to do more good than she's already done in this earth. Because I don't know, I can't fathom how much I love this book. But yeah, let's get into it. It's going to be a short review for anyone who cares. um, yeah, so The Loneliest Girl in the Universe. So I've been like super into space lately. And I feel as though this book, it's a sense of complete escapism, but then is also so internal at the same time, which kind of, I guess, showcases the black and white nature of our life, doesn't it? It's so, like, I don't know, I just felt like it was my safe place. And I loved that it was first person. I find books that are first person I love, or at least this one's the second one that I've read that is first person, and it's just, to me, it's very I can relate to it and connect to it more. I will say I'm honestly struggling with loneliness. I feel like it's been a common trend in my life the past like many years. And this book has this power that makes me feel just, it's like I can't, she's going through so much. She's like basically in the worst situation possible. At least I think so. I mean, there's a lot of, I could list a bunch of worse situations. I'm an anxiety prone person, it seems. But she's in a very negative situation. And to me, it makes me really comfortable to lean on that as a lonely person as well. Just because it's like, fuck, like I need to be, or like it could be worse. Like I'd be so anxious if I was out in space in the middle of nowhere. Uh, and like if something went wrong, you're kind of screwed. Like really screwed. At least in Earth, there's other resources I can go to. There's people, and I will say people are beautiful and like can help. And like I live in Canada, there's free healthcare. She has no healthcare. It's all by herself, and it's so that aspect of it, it made it really great for me to lean on as a lonely person. And you know, I don't know. I I'm sensitive to energies, and this book literally, it in the middle of being around others who I honestly didn't want to be around, um, I felt completely seen, and no care for anything else around me, and that takes a lot. So yeah, it's just, oh, I can't. Where are we at for time? Okay, 4 minutes. Yeah. I guess I did note down in one of my notebooks, actually. She's such a great, and it was stated actually here, tightly plotted. Very much so. Hey, anyone else who've read this? Like, the way that she knew exactly what she was doing. Her and her editors, I should add. Like the way in which she plotted like all the stuff that went wrong. I was with the character Rami the whole time, meaning that like I was trying to challenge my brain. I was like, okay, this is happening. So what the heck? Like maybe this is what happened. And like we didn't get to know actually what happened to the astronauts and to her mom and her dad until like close to the end of the book. And loved that because it kept us in, at least for me, kept me in the whole time. Like it was just spectacular. And like even call it naivety, because perhaps I am quite naive and I'm kind of stupid. Even when she was like talking to Jay and like going through like her own internal dialogue of, is this guy safe or not? And there was that one blimp when she like knew he wasn't safe. And in my head, I'm just like, give it some time. Like maybe he's not. And like I was thinking about all these different situations of, I actually did think I'm like, maybe he is just trying to impress her. Boys are weird. But it's like, but then when then she had the second thoughts and she was like, remember when she took his ship, which is like so badass. And also like, come on, girl, I was so scared. I'm like, how the fuck, what are you even doing? This is so risky. But she had that moment when they're on the video call and she's like, okay, I'm turning it around. I'm going to pick you up. And right at that moment, I was with her. And then all of a sudden she sees that he's on the ship with her. And I was like, damn it. Really? Anyways, so I just love that. I love the plot. So going back to that point, the plot was amazing. And almost so much so that like, it was like I wrote it down in my notebook. It was like she was like talking in the past. Oh, I forget what I wrote now. That sucks. I can't remember. She had this way of plotting it that she knows the plot extremely well. And she's basically giving us a little hint. And she's like being in the past tense. Oh, right. It was being in the past tense, but in the present moment. And you know what? Like that to me, it was so sublime. It was incredible to read. And yeah, I'm obsessed with her. And there's a part of me that feels so cutesy watching this, or reading it rather, because the way in which she basically just said, she said, she's like the upper like stores in the ship are like a hubcap to a wheel. And it just, that one sentence to me stood out because it goes to show how much of an effing nerd she is and how baller she is, because she's just a woman who loves mechanics and like astrophysics and anything space and science and biology and mathematics. And like that to me is so cute, and it makes my like just such a nerd self squeal with love for this woman. And I'm like, she's even being metaphorical with a fucking hubcap and a tire. Like that means she, she just loves her weirdness. Like she loves her shit. She loves Earth. And, that's what I'll just take from this as, I don't know how much I love Earth. Sorry, that went off a 180. And the way that she described that part when Rami was doing the planting, like she was gonna harvest some strawberries, and she described like the pink. There's pink all over her fingers after she picked up the strawberries. And you know what? When I'm going about my day, I think I read that actually at work. I don't think I know. I read that at work, and I was just like, it just escapism complete. Like check mark. Like it was just so ridiculously cute. it made me just fall in love with Rami so much more is because, like, I don't know. I'm happy she loved gardening. She's just savoring any type of earth she can get. Maybe. I don't know. But she hasn't even been to Earth. That's like the weirdest part. But yeah, I loved that line regarding the strawberries when she was harvesting. Look at her. What else did I love? There's so many things I loved. The way that she like ran over. She was doing running and like working out and whatnot. Which it honestly made me, as a lonely person, again, going back to that, makes me feel like I really connected with that part. When I was hearing like her having to work out and like doing the same routine and like watching episodes of her favorite romance, I felt like I could, as a lonely person, connect. It was just like almost just doing this like routine that seemed pointless, you know? And I feel like I just felt such a connection with that. Unfortunately, I was honestly, upon reading it, to find out that she had a guidance or therapist, I was jealous because I don't have a therapist, but I was just like, damn, this chick gets a therapist. Jealous. And then I was like, I don't like it. I kind of like it when my female characters are like hyper suffering. It makes me just, honestly, I love it when they're hyper suffering. I don't know what that is. What is that? Is something wrong with me? But it's kind of similar when Lauren James took the romance route when she first when Rami sorry, I got a weird message. When when Rami first like started encountering Jay, and then Jay told her that he was 20 and like they started like falling in love, I guess, online. I didn't want it to be a romance for some reason. By the back of the book, the synopsis, whatever. I had thought that it would be a friend, not a romance, and a part of me was scoffed because I don't want romance. I don't like it. Romance sucks. But obviously, hopefully at this point you have not finished the book, or have finished the book rather. We realize that he's like way older, and he just wanted to kill her. But it was so good. And then at the end too, when like they were running through the damn stores, and then he like altered gravity, and she was like holding on. Like, what a good scene for a book. Like, I'm like, this is a thriller. Like, I was getting nervous. It was almost scary for me to read alone because I live alone. At night, I was like, oh my God, like, and I was not expecting it to be that much of a thriller at all, to be honest. I don't know. I'm kind of a sad girl. I figured it would just be a lot of sadness, and like, yes, there would be some grit, but this was like grit on steroids a bit. And I loved how fast Rami of a thinker she was. I can't believe how much she has went through and endured. She's just, Rami is a cutie. She's a little punk rock chick who's a good thinker, also a wizard with computers and technology because she was able to find out the coordinates for the UPR. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Oh, kind of going everywhere with this right now, but I guess I just wanted to share this with you guys, and if anyone has any comments or just wants to revel in this or feel as though you connect with me with some things that stood out in the book. It's just a tribute to Lauren James and her editors and whoever else supported her in this endeavor, because, man, I feel as though this book was like everything I wanted and needed. It also was weird. I thought that she was 20, but it turns out she was only 17. Like, she just turned 17. But throughout the book, I was like thinking in my head, I'm like, I really hope she damn well, like, it's not a bad ending. in my head, I had an anxious, like, constant verbal response saying, like, it's not like parking a damn bike and if you miss or if you forget the passcode, you'll figure it out. If you're parking a spaceship, like, on a new planet that you don't even know is habitable yet, like, they hadn't even gone to the first one yet in Alpha Centauri, triple star system, then I know my space, right? A little bit. I'm trying to get better. But I thought that I was thinking in my head that they're all going to die because something is going to go wrong upon landing. So the fact that she was so confident, she's like, when Jay gets here, we're going to land. It's going to be great. I was like, girl, like, you haven't even landed. Like, like I would be in constant state of anxiety. I mean, she was in anxiety. She did state that. So I guess, like, I could see how she could have, like, a breath of fresh air because she was just, I don't know, anxiety works like that. Like, you just constantly are anxious about something, but you do eventually get a breath of fresh air. I don't know, but depends on the person. I haven't gone to a psych ward yet. What time are we at? 16 minutes. Yeah, so that's just my little review. I'm very happy that there's a happy ending, though they haven't landed yet. I do wish that she made a trilogy, or, like, to mirror the star system that they are hopefully going to be landing on. 333, baby. But yeah, I wish there was. Honestly, Lauren, if you want to, like, dig up those scraps I'm sure you have more to add to this. If you don't, then that's cool too. I don't know. But that would be great. I would be on board because Rami's inner voice is something I hold so dear to my heart. And actually, considering I'm very much in love with the youth of our life, of our nation, I think it's our responsibility to give them so much love because they're going through so much as youth, so much love and peace as we can. But I was empathizing with her and, like, being me. I'm 28 years old now. I'm not so much naive when it comes to the first, whispers of romance. I now know that there's a lot to go with romance. And, like, even after knowing someone for 1 year, you don't even really know them. But, like, seeing as she was so young, she was all by herself, like, so lonely, and had never been in love. Like, I empathized with her with how much infatuation just, like, naturally in her hormones just, like, spewed out of her. And I had no judgment, and I just read it when I was reading her. I was like, this is brilliant. Like, Lauren James hit it to a T as to how a 16, 17-year-old girl would feel with her first woos of love. If anything, Rami was more smart about it, nearing, I think, the end of, like, just through it all. Like, to be honest, if I was her age, I would probably still be on his side. Even when he started sowing mystery and she found out the UPR, I feel like, personally, honest, I don't know if I'm going to self-deprecate, but I would be like, no, he's still good. Jay's still good, and we're still going to be in love. So, like, so much love to Lauren for that. Like, she aced that to a T. Like, I feel like she must fucking keep her diaries or something as a little kid, or, like, a adolescent. But that part was so beautiful, and I guess I'll just finish it off with manipulation. If we talk about the bracket of manipulation in this novel, it's, like, amazing. Like, oh, am I getting blurry? Hello? Manipulation. I'm kind of blurry. What's happening? Are you manipulating me, camera? But, thank you. Hey. The fact that Jay, like, did all that, watched Locke and Ness, and she found, and or I don't know how to pronounce it, but that romance series that Rami was just so in love with. Oh, the tendril. So many beautiful things from this book. Sorry, it's all coming back. The way that he manipulated her was like unreal. And like he watched her favorite show, and as he wrote very similar things to her that the love interest in her favorite show had said to one another. And oh man, such head games, and he just had an agenda all along. I'm trying to think of the other ways in which he manipulated her. There was, I feel like, so many. Well, the programming, the UPR, and all that jazz. So she did that in such a wicked manner. Like I couldn't have asked for more again in the book, and I couldn't even predict anything. Though I will say I'm not that good at predicting. I mean, I tried to predict what happened to the mother and father. I thought it was like, I guess I thought that the mother committed suicide, like ran out, to get out of the air vac or whatever it's called, and the dad like ran to save her, so she like blamed her mom because obviously she had like negativity towards her mom completely. But no, it wasn't that. It was such a real life horror. Anyways, and the fact I love this book. And Lauren James, just if you ever do watch this, or just in the ethers of Lauren James, yeah, you rock hard. And you even did like a little newspaper release at the beginning of the book. And honestly, I'm a writer too. I write, but I haven't released anything, but I'm trying to release something. Like I'm working hard on something right now, and like all I do is breathe in and out of like hard work, how hard of a job it is to write. And something like this is just so dear to my heart. And I guess a masterpiece in my eyes. Just everything. And then the fact that it was a good, happy, it was a happy ending in the, for her. I think it's what her character needed. And I think with all the shit she went through as a superwoman, well deserved, and inspiration, and it's type of not dystopian. What's the opposite of dystopian? I can't think of the word. A positive outlook that I think we all as a community of people need. So Lauren James, fucking astronaut bulb hat down to you. And thanks for watching.